came here to tell the sports guys that you entry a GBC car. Na GBC for document na. Say yetria wonka no chrono document. GBC yetria neka. I was called by a manager in this house. Ujafu. Men to asubium na. One here die about African games and I be bibia GBC the be no. Say ye kwa akope right I am fam my mebo open wo ha me. Wa pempem ha say ya pa kakra. Uhume. Anope ya wutie wo fia ya. But I stood my ground because I know the nonsense that I was talking about. Until, was the last 3 days? The sports minister appeared before the parliamentary select committee on the public accounts committee of parliament. Yebusa finance minister say, sports minister. Say, brapeni, GBC, Matuya Wonka. Sports minister say, they have paid Ghana Broadcasting Corporation in excess of $3 million. Watch this. Sir, right now, GBC. Because GBC is a camera, GBC camera, no. Even 580 krano muntiminye. Enti, adye no nation finfin. TV no, wosha bonkum, tum nifa, tum apempem, tum aseho, tum wotem finfin, kete. Edu baby na ye na ya say GBC. As we use camera ba kope e na etwa all Africa. He, o mutimi pane. As a bodani a we hu anka. Boom. Ne dia kwato obi so. Pacho, Mame Public Accounts Committee video no. Nyame na me kan tie waso.
With GBC to cover the All Africa Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much that coverage was for and whether payment has been made for same?
Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have made to GBC. Do you have per chance what the amount was? I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million.
Excess of 3?
You paid GBC
yes.
in excess of $3 million
yes.
for coverage of the All Africa Games. Yes. Chairman, I think that I would rest here and maybe the next time GBC appears before us, because most of the technicians who worked on the All Africa Games have still not been paid. And so we wanted to ascertain if you have paid. You had an arrangement with GBC to cover the All Africa Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much that coverage was for and whether payment has been made for same?
Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have made to GBC. Do you have per chance what the amount was? I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million US.
You paid GBC
yes.
in excess of $3 million US
yes.
for coverage of the All Africa Games.
Yes.
Chairman, I think that I would rest here and maybe the next time GBC appears before us, because most of the technicians who worked on the All Africa Games have still not been paid. And so we wanted to ascertain if you have paid. You had an arrangement with GBC to cover the All Africa Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much that coverage was for and whether payment has been made for same?
Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have made to GBC.
Do you have per chance what the amount was?
I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million US.
You paid GBC
yes.
in excess of $3 million US
yes.
for coverage of the All Africa Games. Yes. Chairman, I think that I would rest here and maybe the next time GBC appears before us, because most of the technicians who work.
Thank you. I must say this to whoever, from my producer to my director to switchers to whoever in this house. I am not a fool just to open my mouth to say things I do not have evidence. And you see, I was insulted by a certain man in this house who called me and said that, what do you have to say that the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, the money paid by the Ministry of Youth and Sports is a fiasco? It's not true. And they were paid less than $200,000. No, be with fear, me, called me, looked me in my eyes, started insulting me at the big office in this house. The Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, the Sika, I'm sorry. I am sad not because of the story. I am sad because almost every other person in this country, people are just mediocres. People are just interested in protecting their businesses without protecting the future of this country. And that is what gets me mad and sad. Saga and the GBC. Ministry of Youth and Sports, over 3 million. I said this on air with the sports guys, and I was calling, and I wish you were there. How this man looked me in the eyes and spoke. I respectfully said, sir, we live to see. He again reported me that I've threatened him. I knew what na me nim dia make I give back kojo na me nim asemwa make no aya nkrofo adwe ye omo say yes sorry ne ya betna ha ne ya beti atiem na ye ko. Listen, I am not Ghanaian because I was born here, but it is because Ghana was born inside of me. I know the nonsense I was talking about. Sir, today can you call me again and say what? Watch this. When I said that on air, I knew, sir, GBC director was called to a meeting to by force accept that he has been paid over $3 million. And the man said, I cannot succumb to that rubbish. You can choose to sack me. I am a professor. Sack me. And Asembia Makawahano, time and event is confirming whether I was just ranting or I was planting a seed. Look and listen to me carefully. Akufado, or Nana Kwakubicham and Kampeu, even though Kwakubicham is older than him. Menana we did 103. Baumia, or Yame of a Kobenebo and Kamepe, even though Kobenebo is older than Baumia. So do not sit in that maggot-infested imagination of your brain to think that I just come here and open my mouth and say things. If I don't have a shit, I don't sit. Camera technicians are Kocha, all African Games. More than 10, they came to me. They called me and I drove straight up to Saga Sports Stadium now, Kufosha. I met some of them. Based in the Ghana Police Service in Triawomuka. Based in the hotels in Triawonka. How would you want to disgrace a noble nation like Ghana to this magnitude? And you think that everybody should shut up in this country? And I am surprised. J. Kufuor, with all due respect to you, Dad, you've been quiet for quite too long. Daddy, with all due respect to you, I love you and you know I do. Papa, you have been quiet for quite too long. Krobe asante kotokoro tumfo say to baby omiru mama muso wada ma chebru. Ohere why you din ache toto. Gamanche Yes. Abai bi aba or the gaman cheba. Ebia na usuro say this ba the gaman cheba for from eba. Nti ebia usuro so obekasa. But gaman che, you've been quiet for quite too long. Paramount chiefs in this country. As for the media, we are as corrupt as more than the definition of the word corrupt. Forget about the media. Mena me catch up. Mr. Ghana and Central Jumano are corrupt. Eti, but pennyfo amu memu ha mo kasa ye na nanom ahemfo. Where are you? And no man back sending me message. Or catch him say now I understand you. The same o man no ne pennyfo abomidua. Some akasa ni krom kwan ye. Nyame na nne wo nana. Yakopon wanyi wo ho. Sa wo chikoto wa menemu a wutum ehwe soro mframa nya Yakopon nyame ompe woto Yakopon nyege afei sports minister kasa wie mididi asem no yie yenkofa GBC MD ne response. You see, he's been paid in excess of $3 million. Excess of 3 billion can be 3.1, 3.2, it can be 4, it can be 5, it can be 6, it can be 10. Excess of 3 million. And yet something above 3 million, no, excess of $3 million. And when I came here, I was talking. A lot of people thought that I was just hallucinating. I was not hallucinating. I knew the nonsense I was talking about. Because if I don't have a shit, I don't sit. I have decided to end my career in broadcasting. And I'll come back to tell you tomorrow when I want to quit broadcasting. I'll quit. Take this from me. Tomorrow when I come, I'll tell you, I want to quit. Me, I want to quit. Honestly, I want to leave. I know your heart has started panting. You started panting, but I want to quit. Antibi, I want to leave. Niyama, I want to go. Antiama, I want to leave. Kwame came to me and said that my path is your path, but your fact will not be their fact. So prepare your ass and prepare your arsenals. Get ready for the battle. It may not seem too easy or smooth, but how rough will become will tell the laugh you would have at the end of the day. This is what he told me just last night. I want to quit. I want to go. I want to go. If you don't see me again, don't be sad. There's a better angle for our triangle to show the area of which angels can meet our angle of failure and help us to succeed. Listen to me carefully. And then, after the Minister of Youth and Sports, Kasawi, GBC, that, but your video now ready now. No, it was not a press release. I got a video. I'll send it to you. If you don't have it, no problem. Relax. I want a video to be played. Don't tell me anything about any document. If you don't play, I get up and go home. That's a fact. Man can't trust me dwa. And you see, And me anytime I am vindicated, I quit. Na utrasia na wadwin. Na wahu say enya akwakora bia ne ntimi nkura ne ho. Nkokrafo ni bi wo ho a o phone so bo. GBC Managing Director Intibo GBC Director after Sports Minister. These two guys, they are all in the same administration. Both were appointed by the president. Papa ne say, hey, debut, NG Skabia. Yeah, both video ni we are. Made the contractor Ministry of Youth and Sports in the GBC sign it, but to TV so. What my name is Ajay. But the contractor but to TV so. But video no.
The benefit total payment to GBCs for GBC's benefit, I repeat, was $105,000, and that is what we got.
Now, but does GBC have any evidence to back what you're saying? Because I mean, the minister is the one in charge. He has made a statement.
Of course.
What evidence do we have?
We definitely have enough documentation. These monies are not paid in bags; they are paid through the bank, and they are indicated what the money is for. And before we do that, there's a letter we will receive from the ministry telling us whose payment it should be for. And so we don't act on our own, we act upon instructions. And that we have all the documentations, and we have everything in place to show that these monies, you see, public funds are not easily disbursed like that. GBC needs $3 million to do a lot of things. And if we got the $3 million, we would have gone ahead to start spending on GBC's needs, including procuring an OB van. We didn't get that money.
TV so kasei or a professor. Sabe mimi we apam secondary school. Enti answer na obehu say Ghana Broadcasting Corporation MD bekwa kojina ni TV show to refute something by a cabinet minister. It means that adiano amen papa no. Che wotie asem na papa ne beka ya Ministry of Youth and Sports de Mirka issue statement. But before for GBC statement na omochro ye no to TV ne so. The almost papa ne sign ya omokwa edit ye de foforo ba no me pede de wo ho no na ye original. Mo we foforo ba. We are from the Office of the Director General, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Broadcasting House, PO Box 1633, Accra, Ghana. August 2024. Honorable Chairman, Public Accounts Committee, Parliament of Ghana, Accra. Dear Honorable Chairman, repayment for African Games and 2 technicians. Kostro kakrane munda hona menkai. Medja Medase. The management of Ghana Broadcasting Corporation wishes to respond to 2 statements made at the 20th August 2024 sitting of the Public Accounts Committee as a public interest questions which was broadcast live. Per an agreement with the Ministry of Youth and Sport, GBC, as the official broadcaster, was to supervise the technical production teams that were to bring into the country their own production equipment and to undertake the production of the African Games. It is important to clear that GBC was the official broadcaster, but not responsible for the technical production of the games. The technical production was outsourced as GBC did not have the equipment to produce the games. The following organizations were responsible for the technical production. PGS, 1. 2. Quality Media Production, SL. 3. The Production Room, TPR. Echna meba metro baby asa group penis in a free. Nipa ye one day. And it didn't say a bind this sika say woman mum and mum produce sa all African games. Nienja GBC or no na the nation's national broadcaster. I didn't see a nice one. The entire a bind way emun for tam deal no command pa foforo. Banka se fa baby I sign a bra for document in Santoso. That's it. Of the total payment made for the games, GBC was only 10 years. GBC was only entitled to 105,000 US dollars. Therefore, the statement that GBC was paid in excess of $3 million comes as a surprise. The Honorable Samuel Nate George, member and MP for Ningo Prampram, also stated that most of the technicians who worked on the African Games have still not been paid. GBC wishes to put it on record that there are no outstanding payments to local technicians who were engaged by GBC to work on the African Games. Mr. Director. All payments to local service providers have been effected. GBC staff who were deployed were paid a daily subsistence allowance of 100 Ghana cedis each on location. It should be stressed that only staff who were at games locations were paid. Game locations were paid. What about the other technicians who were not at the games locations but were employed for the same services? GBC wishes to put it on record that there are no outstanding payments to local technicians who were engaged by GBC to work on the African Games. All payments to local service providers have been effected. GBC staff who were deployed were paid on daily basis subsistence allowance of 100 Ghana cedis each on location. It should be stressed that only staff who were at games locations were paid. There are no outstanding payments to be effected. Yours faithfully, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, Director General, the authentic and trusted voice of Ghana's Managing Director. I pay for Ministry of Youth and Sports for Letana on the Ben Run Sobra. GBC Penini Chokrata way Esan Kojina TV so Ekasawiye pe and the Ministry of Youth and Sports anyway by they thought that GBC Managing Director no or your Director General abana appointed no to somu din tra papa ntina hodin where and tough watching draw. Eti wu sisi ceremony na wampeni a ofra ne kaya. Clarification on the amount paid to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation for the coverage of the 13th African Games. You assume that you have the two ni na bebatri. Na contract na Ministry of Youth and Sports ne GBC signing here no. Mo fama Felix ni mapew. O mo posting na pakwesi posting na wonua online. Facebook or Fago. We refer to the Public Accounts Committee sitting on Monday, 19th August 2024, where the Minister for Youth and Sports, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, led the National Sports Authority and the National Youth Authority, two agencies under the ministry, to respond to issues raised by the Auditor General. At a sitting, the Member of Parliament for Ningo Prampram constituency, Honorable Samuel Nate George, asked a public interest question regarding the payment to Ghana Broadcasting Corporation GBC for their production and broadcasting services rendered at the 13th African Games, to which the Honorable Minister responded that GBC was paid in excess of $3 million. Go up. The minister's attention has been drawn to comments made by the Director General of GBC, Obeka Papana Tujem. opesa aban ni yinadi na ya sheda aka se papa na di ntro ti apam professor said e be ya a cabinet minister we twa ntro a chance no ne ho bebe nyam but emfa stating that they did not receive the said amount. We wish to make the following statement to clarify the issues. Afei ministry na account tieniye. A. The Ministry of Youth and Sports through the local organizing committee received proposals from various stakeholders for the production and broadcasting rights for the 13th African Games. Question number 1 about point A, and it said, who were the said various stakeholders and who are those who wanted the broadcasting right apart from GBC? Publish the names. We want to know. I am daring the ministry to publish the names. If a cousin of the president's company was not part of it, I am daring the minister, if his friend was not part of the bidding, publish the names. Nonsense. I am daring the ministry to publish the stakeholders. I am standing here and asking and saying that the Ministry of Youth and Sports should publish the names of the proposals they received. They are from which company and from who? We want to know. And I'm daring the man in this house. Call me again this morning. I'll give it to you and go away. Nonsense. Some organizations submitted proposals in excess of 6 million. But from Patrolman, I'm trying. Me mami agi. Autonomy o mankasim. Provision store na mami wo. Agi 6 million no. O papa kwa kubi chairman na dem answer trosha. Which the ministry deemed excessive. Teniye, the ministry deemed excessive. Yefanto, me say companies na e can say wo pay right no. Ministry of Youth and Sports publish it. I had a whole somebody here in this house calling himself a big sportsman, calling me and telling me his peace of mind that it is not true. Nonsense. What do you say to someone? Also, the ministry in its quest to build local capacity and leave a legacy after the 13th African Games, engage the GBC to become the official broadcaster for the Games. Honestly, so engage GBC to become the official broadcaster for the Games. The other reason for the ministry's decision was that GBC's financial quotation for production and transmission was the lowest. I didn't know one man of production. No. If his so GBC didn't know firm at 6 million. And then 3 companies now was no. One I demand won't say 1 year jubano. I am daring the Minister of Youth and Sports. Come out. Abaywe, omo thieves. Abaywe, omo cromfo. And I am prepared for any rubbish. The other reason for the ministry's decision was that GBC's financial quotation for the production transmission was lowest. With the understanding that GBC will use the services of third parties to assist them implement their obligation, the total agreed amount was 3.6. So the minister forgot 3.6. Let's assume the 3 million excess of 3 million is the 6. Oh, erade yankopon. When so makuma mu adakoro meka asem bia ebe asem. Subsequently, an agreement was reached between the two institutions, the ministry and GBC. Kosoro. Some ministry, no, they will come back to tell you, say, a ministry of justice and attorney. Troto, they will come back to tell you that. Me sorry mbie manon kasawo. Me do nyame se present a bia ni Ghana information chairman. Opa jidi upa jai. Cause me di me be ye and win nipa nkum nipa. Me di me be ye medjuma. Pacho bra from biom kakra ansa. Wako last paragraph we. Enti kan ho ni biom subsequently F final 2-3. An agreement was reached between two institutions, the ministry and GBC. No state institution can enter into an agreement with another institution which goes beyond $500,000 without the consent of the Ministry of Justice and Attorney. They will come back. From the total amount, EF, G. Don't forget that GBC Aka said they were paid only 105,000. Ministry now quoted 6 million. Omabe ended up at 3.6 after G from the total amount of 2.5. From the total amount of 2.5 was paid directly 10 years. $2.5 million was paid directly to GBC in 2 tranches. 1 million and 1.5 on 13th March 2024 and 22nd May 2024 respectively. Another amount of 1 million was paid to third parties. Who are the third parties? Who were they? I am daring the Ministry of Youth and Sports, come out and tell the whole country the names of the third parties. Meche Afredo, Soni Solo, Sapeja Nebeba ha. Womo beba betome wo stage isu ha. Enne womo beba betome ha. Afredo catch them say Captain Jack and I say when you no cry bibi asensi Afredo wo beba betome ha ne me do nyame. Another amount of 1 million was paid to third parties. Third parties no womo ya hwan enye third party enye TY IES womo ya dodo saying I want to know Sir President Kazim bin ka hwan. I want to know Sir Minister of Youth and Sports Nadam for bin ka hwan. I am daring you come out again. Moka say sorry ah minya de enye papa pani me di 44 years me da 12 no ma sorry 4 ejuma wenti mintimi nya stable relationship okra o ka say majimi na minja ye na me hwe me ma o man inti me na ne ye di matem ne ye de me nam ha ye de me ko ndro so kotogo nyina koye medro na o ka say imoja na wo me mu anka me nwui di me ho agro ka say moja na wo mu ti na me nwuya moja anka me ko. But ma mi bi tabe bi de ne mpa ibota me chinti mi moja no adane bo to fi say ye liquid solid agi. As a public institution we are committed to transparency. That's a lie. And accountability in the discharge of our mandate. It's a lie. Signed obwa one sign. The minister will come out one day to tell you this is not coming from me. To say the Napo, Odidi Kwame Nkrumah tam kikan some full chair, yen ye Kwame Nkrumah no. Oye no mo say MPP ni akra na wo trust letter no e Ministry of Energy ho we dey kwatre national chairman manu hwem mo ka say yenim. I can even tell you computer mo dey type this letter and rubbish. Now point trust it's not true.
Morning shows.
Answer na po be vice presidential candidate ma ba me no hu letter head da. Odidi Kwame Nkrumah tam wie no pressure ba MPP so no mo ye letter head ba no nipo ye letter head no yo ba mo fa mo sam fun so. You guys think we don't know what is happening in this country? Me pani to Akufo-Addo bedroom emre okodun so amete Sign for where? For signature sheho. Na mo scan imra ne sign and scan. Na yehu sports minister the signature. Mo ka say enkwasiafo na egu kurum ha ho. Na nyam forta. Manya Ghana fo ni bia. Aban mu ni pa kan sem fu bia na mu di akire. Asam ni nie. Mr. Producer for contract the 2 TV ni so. Na mama Alfredo mumra ha bra bye bye. Hia camera ni firi ho. Fa table ni bra Alfredo mumra. Mutien yo contract in that TV ni so no. Mo bia me kan cham se Captain Smart boni trim. Contract no. Pacho bra form ye hu soro ho de ho between the pen ye hu. Between Ministry of Youth and Sports, MOIS, and Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, GBC.